Hi, I'm Karen, also known as the Preacher Lady. Today's devotion is There Is No Them. There's an old story that says that a pastor preached a sermon one Sunday and everyone came out saying how wonderful that sermon was, how much it meant to them. Then the next Sunday they came and he preached the exact same sermon. People were bemused, but still went out and complimented him on the sermon. The next Sunday, the pastor preached the exact same sermon. One church member pulled him aside and asked, "Why are you preaching the same sermon every week?" The pastor replied, "I am going to preach it until you all hear it." Sometimes I feel like that. I watch the news and browse social media to try and decide on our topic for our devotion, and it seems like the same topics keep coming up over and over. Now, I am sure I'm preaching to the choir here. We are small but mighty. But if this devotion resonates with you, if you agree it addresses a chronic problem in our society that needs to be heard, spread it around. I give you permission, share mine, or write your own. If we keep preaching it, maybe someday they will hear. So many superhero movies make a versus movie. Batman versus Superman, Team Cap versus Team Iron Man, even Team Edward versus Team Jacob. And I hate him. The good guys waste so much time in the movie fighting and arguing over silly things about who's more important when they should be joining together to stop the real evil. I wonder if maybe there are so many of these versus movies because that's what our society has become. Us versus them. Liberal versus conservative. Race versus race. Religion versus religion. Everyone seems to be fighting for what is best for us, and then to hell with them. I want to let you in on a little secret. To God, there is no them. We are all God's beloved children, even though we don't act like it sometimes. I have said this many times before. John 3:16 says, God so loved the world. It doesn't say God so loved the Christians. It doesn't say God so loved a political party, or God so loved a certain race, or God so loved Southerners or Northerners, or even God so loved Americans. It says God so loved the world. No, we don't have to agree with everything our brothers and sisters say, do, or even believe. But that doesn't make them any less God's beloved children. God loves them as much as God loves you. I am sure God would prefer a little less hate and prejudice from us, but that doesn't make God stop loving us. Listen to Paul's advice from Ephesians 4:1-6. I, therefore, a prisoner in the Lord, beg you to lead a life worthy of the calling to which you've been called. With all humility and gentleness, with patience, bearing with one another in love, making every effort to maintain the unity of the Spirit in the bond of peace. There is one body and one Spirit, just as you were called to the one hope of your calling, one Lord, one faith, one baptism, one God and Father of all, who is above all and through all and in all. So the next time you start to think about them versus us, stop and think what your attitude is doing. How is that affecting our society? Now, I know that they are doing it too, but someone has to stop. It has to stop somewhere. Someone has to make the first move toward unity and peace. Remember, unity doesn't mean that we have to be or believe the same. We just need to start treating each other like we are all part of us. There is no them. We are all God's beloved children, trying to do our best. When we focus on tearing each other down, we are at our worst. If you enjoyed this devotion, you can find us at Geeks of Faith on Facebook, or you can subscribe to this YouTube channel. Have a blessed week.